Hi, my name's James. Today I'm going to talk about A Matter of Life and Death. Firstly, I'm going to talk about genre. The film uses conventions of action adventure movies and thrillers too. It begins with the murder of Baker Bob. Here you see Bob being very scared of a shadow, and he is hit over the head with, I think, a rolling pin. And it turns out that he is the 12th baker found dead this year. So that means there's a serial killer on the loose. And a serial killer is a convention of thrillers. Here you can see the serial killer's evil plan. She wants to kill 13 bakers, and the 13th that she wants is Wallace. Here you can see Wallace with her, and then her evil plan. But it's also a action adventure movie, and there's some great action sequences here when Wallace rescues Paella and her dog as they plummet down the hill on the bike. He jumps and flies through the air and saves her. And Gromit plunges right into the jaws of the crocodile to rescue Fluffles. Then at the end, there's a bomb, and Gromit tries to save Wallace from it as Paella goes crazy and trying to murder Wallace with her spanner. And the dog gets together with them, and the dog Fluffles gets together with Gromit to try to stop Paella. The bomb goes off. There's a huge explosion here just as Paella escapes in the Bakelite balloon. The bomb was actually in Wallace's pants, and but Paella, because of the bread, she's a bit heavy, and the Bakelite balloon falls into the zoo, where she is eaten by the crocodile. In conclusion, I think it's this combination of the serial killer and the action sequences mean that it's both a action adventure thriller. So I guess you could call it a action adventure thriller. The next thing I want to talk about is difference and variation, and in particular transformation, because there are a number of significant transformations in A Matter of Life and Death. Here at the very beginning of the film, Gromit leans out the window with a red balloon. He uses an implement, a wooden spoon, to hit the arm, and the red balloon falls off the arm through a trapdoor in the roof and onto Wallace as he's in bed, and he sits up very surprised. Then the machinery lifts him out of the bed, and he is delivered down the slide to his breakfast. Later, in the climax, almost exactly the same thing happens, but this time the red balloon has been transformed into two different things. Firstly, it's been transformed into a bomb, and secondly, into Wallace. And here's Gromit leaning out the window holding the bomb. There is the bomb lodged at the end of the windmill, and there's Wallace. He's on the windmill too. Here's Wallace on top of the windmill. He falls down through the trapdoor in the roof onto his bed, where he's very happy to be safe. Here you see the rolling pin hitting the arms of the windmill, just as the spoon Gromit did with the spoon before. It dislodges the bomb from the arm of the windmill, which falls through the trapdoor and onto the bed where Wallace is. And then the bed lifts up, and it delivers him, Wallace, and the bomb down the slide. in case it's not really obvious, you can see very obviously here when you compare them side by side. There's Gromit leaning out the window with his red balloon, and there he is leaning out the window with the bomb. There's there is the red balloon at the end of the windmill. There's Wallace at the end of the windmill. There's the bomb at the end of the windmill. There's Gromit with the spoon. There's the rolling pin hitting the windmill arm. There's the red balloon at the end. There's Wallace. There's the bomb. There's the red balloon going through the trapdoor. There's Wallace going through the trapdoor. There's the bomb going through the trapdoor. And there's Wallace sitting up surprised. And then there's Wallace happy on the bed. Then there's Wallace and the bomb on the bed. And then there's Wallace being tipped up down the slide, and Wallace and the bomb together at the end with going down the slide. There's one more sort of interesting point. In the beginning, Wallace is delivered down the slide into his pants. And in the end, even though the sequence follows the same pattern, you don't see him fall down into his pants. But later, you see him with the bomb in his pants. And this, the reason why you don't see him going into his pants is it allows the audience to feel surprise when the bomb ends up in his pants. And at the same time, it makes it seem plausible, likely that this would happen, because you've already seen this sequence of events, so you think it's possible. And then like somehow in the back of your mind, you know that Wallace is going to end up in his pants, and if the bomb goes down the slide too, then that's going to end up in his pants too. So the effect on the audience is that these transformations provide a pattern that the audience recognizes, so that what they said at the beginning is repeated at the end. It makes it seem more plausible and likely and sort of familiar, so that you're likely to accept them and enjoy them, and enjoy the fact that the first time it's kind of amusing, and at the end it's amusing too, but it has a more power. And that's it. Thank you.